This MCA representing Tendana Soget Ward and a member to this committee. Thank you and welcome CEO and the two CEOs and Waziri Agriculture.
Thank you, Chairman, and good morning, everybody. My names are Philip Mutai, representing the great people of Kipchimchim, and a member to this committee. To our CC Health, Agriculture, and the two CEOs, Dr. Beth and Betsy. Welcome to this committee.
Okay, good morning all. I'm Gilbert Ngetich Kimarus, MCA Kishara Ward and member to the committee. CEOs, CECs, welcome to this committee. Thank you.
Morning, I'm Haran Rotich, representing the people of Seratut, Karibu Sana Waziri, and the CEOs. Asante sana.
I'm Kibet Postman, MCA Blanket Ward, and a member to this committee.
I'm Anthony Ruto, MCA Gipkelian Ward, member to this committee.
Beatrice Chepkemei, member to this committee.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Kibet Peter, MCA Kapsosel Ward, member to the committee.
Secretariat.
Good morning, I'm Sharon Mibe, Deputy Clerk in charge of Legislative, Legal and Procedural Services.
Good morning, I'm Musan Kibiakon, Principal Clerk.
Good morning, my name is Kipkuru Bernard, Principal Research Officer.
Good morning, Waziri and CEOs. Karibu, my name is Abraham Langat, in charge of Administrative Services.
Good morning, I'm Commissioner Liston, Ansat Officer.
Good morning, Stephen Jeriot, Head of Budget.
Morning, Diana Mutai, Sergeant at Arms.
Good morning, Nelson, Quiet Security.
Thank you. We have our Vice Chair. Kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Honorable Protich Rogon, MCA representing Sigawet Ward, and I'm the Vice Chair of this ad hoc committee.
Thank you. Now let me read the terms of reference of this committee that was established through a motion in this House. And the purpose of this committee is to ascertain the pending bills for the last 3 years, that is the year 2022-2023 financial year, 2023-2024 financial year, 2024 and 2025 financial year, from all the county departments, or inclusive of your department. We also want to ascertain all the requisitions for the last 3 financial years versus the expenditure. Verify all procurement works undertaken in the 3 financial years above. Ascertain all procurement works done in the past 3 financial years. Determine what was paid in terms of work, goods and services, including consultancy services, by obtaining, if misstatements, any other valid documents used to settle the debts by the county government of Kericho. Reduce the pending bills that have already been settled and provide proof of settlements by department per financial year. Establish the outstanding pending bills and budgetary allocations for the said outstanding pending bills by department per financial year. Establish effect of settlement of pending bills on proposed new projects and approved projects in all county government of Kericho planning documents. Find out the causes of pending bills in each department, and we will propose mechanisms that ensures that practices that occasion pending bills are minimized. This is not limited to disciplinary processes for the state officers and public servants responsible for plunging the county into pending bill cycle. Propose clear roadmap including county legislations on how to tame the menace of pending bills in county government of Kericho. We will do a report within 30 days and it will be tabled in this financial year. Thank you very much. Welcome. Though we are beginning this session late, we were expecting to be done by around 1 p.m. and hopefully you will be able to answer our questions. And I also believe that you submitted all the documents as per our TOR, because we would like to get to know the pending bills that exist within your department. You see, pending bills has been used every budget cycle and every time
for information to come. But we missed the information because it came through a message and we were waiting for a call. So I hope, Chair, you will pardon us. It was not intended. Secondly, my name is Margaret Langat. I'm the CCM in charge of agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and cooperatives management. To my right is my colleague and chief officer in charge of agriculture and fisheries. Maybe she can say her name.
Betsy Chebet, Chief Officer, Agriculture and Fisheries.
Thank you. And on my left is the Chief Officer in charge of livestock and cooperatives management. He can also say his name.
Dr. Michael Betts.
Thank you.
Do you have, because I see you have two departments within the agriculture. Is the pending bills for only one department or is for both?
Chair, thank you. We are prepared. We came with all information in terms of what is pending in my department. That is, as I said, Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperatives Management. So we have information for all. Do I proceed?
Proceed.
I just wanted to request that you restate the question so that I
kindly state the status of pending bills in your department.
Okay.
As for the last 3 financial years.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I think first of all, let me thank the wisdom of this assembly in coming up with this very important committee to look into the pending bills which could have been accrued across the departments. We realize that a lot of times we dig into our new budgets to try and pay into the last or these bills that were incurred maybe some time back. So I think the wisdom of the House and this committee is well appreciated, because in the end it will streamline some of the issues that we have and also allow us to proceed forward with the new development programs as executive. So I just wanted to say that that we are happy. Secondly, Chair and the committee, for financial year 2022-2023, I am pleased to report to this House and committee that in the Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries, and Cooperatives Management, we do not have any pending bill. So our sheet is clean for the year 2022-2023 in as far as the information that we have is concerned. Number 2, financial year 2023-2024, we have done extremely well, Honorable Chair, but we have a few pending bills which are only total cost at 12.1 million, and as we speak now we have 3.8 million waiting for payment at the internet banking, or IB, what is popularly known as IB. That is it, Mr. Chair, for 2023-2024. I was not confident to say so much on the issue of 2024-2025 because I cannot say we have a pending bill because we are not yet closed in the financial year, and therefore we and myself and my colleagues here, together with my department, we are working so hard to ensure that we do not have a pending bill crossing over to the following year. So, but we have made clear payments so far to those projects and those programs that have been scheduled to be paid, and they are fully documented to the satisfaction of my team. And therefore, Mr. Chairman, I can't report that we have any pending bill so far. Maybe once we close the financial year.
Before I give you a chance, let me ask about the documentation. We only have a one single document. I don't know whether the Secretariat, is it sufficient? Is this a document that was applied from the Agriculture Department? Because it's only stating 1, 2, 3 items, and I don't think it's amounting to 12 million because it's around 6-7 million. So can you supply us with sufficient documents? Because it's only one document that you gave us.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we provided only one document by sticking on the doctrine of the question, because the question was you're asking for the status.
Yes, but now you say
status. For supporting documents, I think it is something that you'd like to have the supporting documents to my.
You see, you have stated that you have a pending bill of amounting to 12 million. So we would like you to demonstrate to us, because we want to see the 12 million.
Okay.
Including where the work was done, the companies.
Okay.
Yes, and furthermore.
Yes.
You see, when you just give a breakdown like this, we want to verify and to see the real statement of pending bills with proof supporting that this actually exists. In terms of do you have a requisition for, or do you have a procurement plan that you did before executing work?
Thank you, Chair. If I am well guided,
this year's budget.
This year that's 24-25.
The 3 years. You see, we had requested for 3 years.
Okay. Okay, because we didn't have any pending bill for the year 22 and 23,
so it's nil. So we'd like to get for this year now, for 23-24.
For 23-24, I think
24-25.
colleagues are working on it. Okay, sorry, Chair. At the beginning of the financial year 2024-2025, we had already paid 44 Kenya shillings, 44,972,965 as a first charge, and what is remaining.
Now, what we need also to know. I know maybe in the last financial year, because also we would like to know how you pay, how you prioritize in terms of payment. Even if you don't have for the last financial years, kindly provide us what you have paid as pending bills in the last 3 years. Even what you have paid to date, yes.
Do you have another copy? No, for them, they have to look at it. So black what I can tell you. Okay, Chair. So This is it. Okay. Chair, if you can allow, I can table this document.
Yes, you can supply to Secretariat. Nixon, photocopy it.
Chair, I would like to draw your attention to the clarification you thought about. You said the figures were not coming to 12.1.
Yes.
You are right, because we have excluded what is at the IB at the moment, because already that's considered done. We have money in our department. It is only waiting disbursement, and that much has been done. So you will get the difference in terms of what you can be able to see on the document that we have shared with you.
Okay, so if it is in that document, we are waiting and then so that we can be able to interrogate further.
Okay.
But now, you see, we are also looking at the task force report. There was a task force that was established to investigate pending bills. And the report says, as 31st December 2024, agriculture has 47.8 million.
2024?
Yes, that is a task force report. Because you remember, there was a push and pull about the pending bills that was declared at some point, and there was a debate whether some are eligible and some are ineligible. Some were documented, some didn't have documents. And that task force was established to investigate and come up with a report. So, and when you say you have a pending bill of 12 million, the report gives us 47.8 million. Yes, as per 31st December 2024.
It's 2024. Chair, I am only reporting what according to the records that we have, and I want to plead with you that the department is under my watch, and I have my 2 chief officers who are the permitted officers to do the transactions and all that, and this is the information that I have. So maybe if I can request, maybe I can, unless there's a direct question in terms of a list of some of those companies or service providers who are certain that they have not been paid, so that I can compare maybe with what I have, because according to what I have, the information that I've been given is that as at 30, the date that you have said, which is basically last year, I can say the financial year 24-25, I mean 23-24, I can say that this is what we have provided in terms of what is spending.
Yes, Honorable Anthony.
Waziri.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
According to your presentation,
yes,
your department is one of those who are outside as far
Thank
as pending bills are concerned. Congratulations. But my concern are those years before the financial years in question. Do you have pending bills before? Do you have pending bills that have not been paid before the financial years in question?
Before the financial years in question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think then
because
that is
if people provided services and they have not been paid, then it is prudent for the same providers to be paid. So our concern, apart from these financial years in question, do you have other pending bills before the financial years in question?
Honorable Aaron. Waziri, I also want the CEOs. like you said, you don't have any pending bills. I want to confirm to you that there is a contractor by the name Rebora Limited, and the contractor constructed a T-Bank Center, completely new. That is in Waldai Ward, to be very precise. And the T-Bank Center, but CC, the CEO, for the financial year 2021-2022. And the contractor, and the T-Bank Center itself is by the name Simon Tweet T-Bank C, TBC, that we gladly opened with the CEO, who was here, Madam Betsy, together with the area MCA for Waldai, about somewhere towards the end of last year, or early this year. So I don't know, to date, the contractor says not been paid. It stands as a pending bill. Could you be aware, Waziri? Because like you've stated, you don't have any pending bills backwards. Maybe you should note to that as a matter of concern.
Did you say for financial year
21-22?
21-22?
Yes.
Yes.
And already the T-Bank Center we've opened.
That is what, through the chair, you see now the check that I counter-checked was from the financial year 22-23, 23-24, and 24-25. But also, it would be, I would be curious, Honorable Chair and Mheshimiwa, to know what really, if a contractor has not been paid for that long. I've been in that office for almost 3 months now. I have listened to many contractors who have 1 or 2 issues here and there, and we have been able to solve them, but I've not had this one specifically. Even the Honorable Member for Waldai, who is my good friend, Ciele, we had an activity in his ward, which we opened one of the tea-buying centers, which I'm really proud of. It was done exceptionally very well, and I have not had that complaint. Maybe I need to take it so that I can look at it.
No, but Waziri, since it has come to your knowledge, it is clear, evidently clear, that we were the area MCA, who was the chairman of agriculture, today early in the morning, and the same was captured by the contractors, and he was saying the same thing. So definitely, there is an issue. Just accept as it is.
I have noted.
There is a matter of concern.
I have noted,
that
Chair.
should be addressed.
Yes, I have noted, but I was just giving you the background that we have a good rapport, and maybe it should have been brought to my attention if there was a very serious issue. But as you have said, I've noted, and I will act on it immediately. Thank you.
Now the question is, okay, I'll hand over to you. The question is, in these pending bills of 19th DEC 2024, 10 June 2024, and 20th April 2024, which is last financial year, why has not been paid up to now? Because the law says pending bills is fast charge. I see only one, which is saying it's in IB, but the other one,
two are in IB.
The online garage does not. There is nothing that is happening. And yet, it seems it's for last financial year.
Thank you, Chair. I want to say that we have only 3 which have not been paid, but it is in the process. One of the things, Chair, that we have had is challenge of documentation. And when I took over the ministry, when I took over the department, I made it very clear to my CEOs that there will be no payment without proper documentation. And that is why we could have a few of them having 1 or 2 issues, which basically is causing the delay in terms of executing their payments. But it doesn't mean that we don't recognize they have done their work, they have done, but also they must do their bit to ensure that the documentation is filed correctly.
Now, the issue of documentation, you see, there are questions sometimes that are raised, maybe even from the public, from the members, and any other person involved in oversight, that there are projects that have been fully implemented, and there is no single document. Could it be one of it?
I don't think so. I think it was just one or two documents that were missing, basically from some of it emanating from the officers that we have, because they have to counter check, and also some of it because of the contractor himself.
Okay, Honorable Osman.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Maybe the question is directed to CEC Agriculture. There is a document we are being supplied now.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is a document which you are being supplied with now. I don't know if it's emanating from your department, but this document, number 13, it's specifically from my ward, Josacro Supplies Limited, LPO number 1056, it's in my ward. It's saying condition of Community Buying Center, and on Tremax, it has been paid. But the earlier document which was applied for the financial year 2023-2024 is a different contractor. It's point number 3. It says Chaigon Agencies, which is a different contractor altogether. The LSO number is 1056, and it has not been paid. I don't know. These are contradicting information in the department. Kindly clarify. You have paid the other one, Josacro Supplies Limited, but this one, Chaigon Agencies, you have not paid. It's among the pending bills. The same one.
Chairman. So that they can answer all. Chairman, I want to bring to your attention the schedules that we have, because I want to believe everybody has this. You know, in 2021-2022 financial year, the department had in development a total allocation of 50,612,000. In 2022-23, the department had 45 million worth of works. That is cooperatives and agriculture. In 2023-24, they had an allocation of 77,722,000, and last financial year, this financial year that's coming to an end, it's a whopping 126,805,000. Chairman, from the document the department has applied to this committee, it is very scanty. And you remember the motion had prayers dating 2022 and prior financial years. So what I'm simply saying is, I know this is one of the departments, I must say this, that is not, there is the least issues, maybe according to what, I was a member of Agriculture Committee, except maybe for a few cases. So, Chairman, I wanted the CEC and the CEOs to clarify whether there are pending bills. You know, the Waspen has raised a very critical issue where the same T-Buying Center, two companies are claiming one has been paid, the other one is lodging payment to be made. And number two, Honorable Magerer, the reason why we are here today is because we want to cure. You know, Betsy, I know you are not the CEO then. I lost 3 million in that department. And that is why we want to cure right away. Because one, I allocated the money. And then the former CEO opted to build T-Buying centers for others people, for the other wards. And mine was left out. I've really been following the same case. And I'm happy for the motion mover who made these prayers happen. Because we must, you know, equitably share these resources. So what I'm simply saying, Betsy and Dr. Bett, are you telling this committee that with the whole allocations amounting to close to 200 million, not 300 and something million from 2021, don't we have pending bills in your department? And then, Chairman, I'll request that they give us the information that were put by the motion mover as part of the prayers. Because if you give us this, it is only 1 or 2 financial years. We have a whole, what has the department done from 2021-22 financial year to date?
In addition, Chairman, In addition, Chairman, a minute, Waziri.
Let him
in
ask
addition,
questions,
Chairman,
then I'll give it.
I think Waziri and the two CEOs, I think you are almost deviating from what we really wanted. You know, when you say the department has a pending bill of 12 million, to my thinking and the appropriation that my colleague has put across to you, it is not real. We wanted to get this problem, this menace that has really added our county once and for all. So it is better for you if you need sufficient time so that you can go and pick way back, dating even back to 2022, probably my first budget, 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024. Because 12 million, Mr. Chairman, I see it not to be actual. Given that even the absorption rate being aggregate being the biggest, one of the biggest department, I think I distribute those pending bill, Waziri.
Okay, Chairman. Lastly, can we go to the pending bills, the list, which is number 1 to 3? There is Bantam Logistics, Bantam Logistics, that supply and delivery of Platax vaccines. It is in the list of the pending bills, not paid. That is number 2. Honorable Margareta had told us that he didn't include the allocation, the amount which is to be paid under IB. But I'm seeing here, he's seeing number 25 in the recent list. That is Bantam Logistics, number 25. It is indicated that is in the IB, yet it is also listed here to be number 2. And prior, you had told us that you didn't include what is in the IB to the summation of 12 million. I don't know why we find that the information, Chairman, seemingly is not true, because there is a game here in figures. But now we've realized that this one is in the IB. It is listed again here as a pending bill. Waziri, as you had said that you are really manning the department, I think the information provided here is very much contradicting, and it means it can even have the pending bill thing. We were with the contractors, as you remember, and they told us that your staffs are just dodging the contractors in creating of an LSO or LBO. But they even correct, they redirect the LBO to a different contractor, having an initiation of the other one. That is from the procurement department. That can be happening. Now, when they supply you with these facts which are in the assembly, like this one, it is very clean, you've tried, you've paid. But now there is one in which you've said it is the IB, and you've indicated here as a pending bill. What will happen?
Chair, so that if I can answer, because I
want you to answer the question. No, kindly write, put down so that you can answer once.
Maybe the last one, Waziri. Yeah. Waziri, as per your documents that you've just given us here, I've seen my word. If you can go to number 9, Waziri, you are there.
Number
9. Number 9. Selected word in your document. Number 9, I've seen the renovation of Cheptororiet T-Bank Center and construction of two-door bit latrine at 2.2. I don't remember if there is any T-Bank Center by the name Cheptororiet that has been renovated in my ward. Maybe you tell me, maybe there's another Cheptororiet in my ward, or another T-Bank Center by the name this one, that I need to confirm before we proceed. Because I'm shocked, Chairman, that this T-Bank Center is mentioned, well, nothing has been done in the ground. Which one is this? Maybe you can. Number 9.
Thank you. Now, Waziri, can you kindly answer the questions?
Thank you, Chair. I'll try to answer what I can remember. I've written a few, but I'll start with the last one. I'm just cross-checking to confirm the name. Sometimes, you know, the people who are doing the typing can make some little errors here and there concerning, and I apologize for that, but I'll just confirm the name before we leave here, and maybe it can be okay, or if not okay, I'll go and look for further information. You have it was Mheshimiwa, yes, who questioned the issue of this one is called JGON agencies in Cheplanget. Yes, that one is the payment is not incomplete. You are right, and again we had asked the secretary to exclude it from that list because we were cross-checking, but somehow it was indicated here that it has been paid. But again, if you look at the list that we have just given you, you'll see number 3, JGON agencies, as one of those listed as pending. So we have not paid that one. And Chair, my apologies again. We didn't maybe cross-check the final table, which no, the companies are not different. It was a it was a
the figures are different.
It was a mistype.
The figures.
Chairman, as Waziri also is answering.
300, and this is this one here.
Let me give you time, and I want to make a ruling on that one. The question for Honorable Harun. We'd like you to supply us with now full documentation of the company, and we'll also have to visit the site to ascertain the allegation of the member. So kindly supply us with all the documents, including to prove that it has not been paid.
That is a Remlin.
The LSO number. Thank you. There is an LSO number there. So let's proceed.
Chairman, and also additionally, as Waziri is presenting, when we came here, Chairman, we took the 2 CEOs and the CEC through an oath. I'm realizing that Waziri is asking for apologies every other time there is an issue. So, Waziri, what you are telling us is the truth and nothing but the truth. So that if in any case there are issues, Waziri, you are at liberty to withdraw back all these documents so that you do your clarity, due diligence, and also all the nitty-gritty that are required as per your department, so that we have a good progress, Waziri. So that as at now, we are at 50%, not sure of whether we will really admit what you are telling us. Because every other time you are saying, Chairman, my apologies, maybe people were typing, maybe, you know, this exercise is an exercise to bring permanent remedy to issues of pending bills. So that if there are pending bills that are not declared, we need to declare before we go to the next financial year, so that if possibly we will have an address towards it. The law is pending bills forms the first charge. So we want to know what is the cost, total cost of this first charge before we roll out any other project. So that if we can see we can raid other line items to cure this, the better, for the sake of our departmental development and progress. I thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Now, Waziri, I think you didn't provide correct information in the two mentioned, one in Cheptoro Riet Serutut and one in Cheplanget, because already we knew confidently when you came to this panel that you had a pending bill of 12 million. But now you have a document saying it is paid, and there are 2, which is also adding up to around 5 million. And members here have mentioned that one is not complete, another one is not even started. So kindly, I'm making a ruling that we'll follow up on the 2 of them, to ascertain the condition of and the status, and again provide us before the end of the day full documentation of the two companies. Again, yes, that one.
Chairman, additionally, we had
the one that is not existing.
We had a session with the contractors. Maybe Waziri and the two CEOs, Association of Contractors, indeed submitted some documents to us that maybe through your permission, Chairman, I would ask that request that the Department of Agriculture too be supplied with the document from the contractors so that they give us good compilation. Yes.
You see, the documents from the contractors, it's not our work to supply to you because they have an association. But they have laid down also their claim that they have a pending bill from the Department of Agriculture. They have listed, some are documented, some are not documented, ranging from 2015. Now, this question I think will direct to the CEC. What is the relationship between Department of Trade and Department of Cooperatives? Do you share anything between the two departments? Do you have any relationship with the Department of, because I know trade is in innovation and industrialization.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll make a few feedback statements from what has already arisen here. One is that there was a question, before I answer what you have just asked me, there was a question on my staff involvement in what is not very good, of not providing documents or LSOs or LPOs. I think I started, Mr. Chairman, by saying that when I came to the department, I made my position very clear with regards to how we contract the service providers and the contractors. And of course we do that in line with the PFM Act, and the people who are charged are with me here. The CEOs, they have the last responsibility in terms of doing that. So if you see a contractor saying that I was not given an LSO and is making a claim, you should be able, Mr. Chairman, to ask him how he started working without being given the opportunity to do that work. That's the big question that we may need to ask them at an opportune time. Because if the procedure is very clear, after works are tendered, either on RFQs or the open tenders and all that, Mr. Chair, I think the House is well understood in terms of the procedure that we follow to finally issue an LSO or an LPO. So if someone has already done work and is claiming a payment and this document is not there, now is going for the document, then we have a reason as a department under my watch to wait a little bit to try and find out the reasons, which is the same reasons that this honorable committee is trying to seek. Some of these pending bill claims are, I don't want to say they are fictitious, but they are fictitious in that nature because people are claiming to have worked and they were not given the works. So we have not involved ourselves in assessment of some of these works. But for those which are correctly done, we don't have a problem with that. Number two, the staff, I want to undertake to this committee and the House that I will take action on those staff to ensure that they do what they are required by law to do. And if that, and I think my CEOs are getting me very clearly here, if people are tossing around the service providers for their own reasons, then that information should be able to get to me so that we can have an action against such. Number three, Mr. Chair, and I will give Honorable Bet here to Dr. Bet to make a remark, is in the relationship between the Trade Department and the cooperatives. Mr. Mr. Chairman, I would like to bring to your attention that in the executive order, I think the second executive order, on this Dr. Eric Mutai's government, he pulled out the Department of Cooperative, the subsector of cooperatives, from trade to agriculture. So there would be some overlap during that transitional period, that now cooperatives was moved to agriculture, and maybe some of the works and the activities were issued during the time that it was in trade. So I undertake also to have a meeting with my colleague in the trade department to ensure that some of these works which overlapped at the time of the transition can be harmoniously looked into, so that we can be able to answer them. Honorable, my good friend Rogony has come to my office with that claim, which is true. It's correct that a program that was planned to be implemented in his ward was not implemented. But I think there were challenges, and maybe in the wisdom of the department, we saw it fit that instead of the money remaining unutilized, we could be able to utilize it in the same line of program, because we still all belong to the entire county. So maybe what I want to promise Bwana Rogony is that you will have your tea buying centers constructed in the next budget, so that we can be able to fulfill the wishes of the people of Sigawet ward, provided that we have correct documentation in terms of the ownership of the land, Mr. Chairman, which has been the biggest problem, especially on projects that we need to undertake in areas that are not fully in the hands of the county government of Kericho. And I think Cabinet gave a direction on that, and therefore I will, maybe the concerned Mheshimiwa should be able to come to my office and we sort out that. So don't worry, we will be able to recover your money, and it did not also go wasted because it went to support another department. Allow me, Chair, to give Dr. Bett, because he's in charge of the cooperatives, just to mention something, if it is okay.
Okay, Honorable Gilbert. Yeah.
I've heard you kindly, Wasiri, and you said that some contractors who are claiming the documentation could be the department do not have any information of their workings. Are there instances where a contractor starts working without the instruction from the department? Because I'm very sure for a same contractor, a normal contractor should actually be at the site of the work under the instruction from the department via the initial documentation of works. Are there instances where contractors find themselves doing works without your knowledge?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mheshimiwa, you know very well that systems are there for people to follow. And there are instances that some procedures are overlooked, especially when it comes to this pending bill. And that's why we are saying, if we are talking about pending bills that was crossing the regime, then that's a very difficult situation sometimes, because we have had situations like that, and I'm sure it's not new to you. You have been in this honorable house. It is possible that some people could have had some opportunity to engage in some activity, even before the completion of the documentation, especially if you are talking about contractors that have been working within the the areas that we match. So those are the ones which sometimes we have a challenge, because we ask the same questions. We ask the same questions: how did you do this job? Maybe without the proper award.
Now, the reason why I was asking, I'll give you a chance. The reason why I was asking about there is this document that you supplied to us, the one with Department of Trade, Industrialization, Innovation, Tourism. Were you supplying it for trade or you were supplying it for cooperative? Because you see, let me tell you, as a chair, I was able to look at so many reports. And when I looked at this document, I could remember where I saw the same presentation in another document. When I opened up, I remembered, because my memory is a bit sharp, and I realized I had seen it somewhere. And when you go to Department of Trade, the figures could come back to me. I saw supply of installation of 2 disc pulper machine at AFC Kipkelian Ward, and that is presented to us as pending bill by Department of Trade, and it is paid. And I have seen here you have also attached another one, the same company, same supply, is now coming to a different department, has not paid. Can you explain to us what is the meaning? And it's not only one. If you go to trade, you find the one that is applied to Chemorio FCS, Kipkelian, and Kablela Artet. Kablela Artet, yeah, and Kapsoit. All is still listed again under the Department of Trade. And most, you find some are paid already. And here, you are presented as pending bill. How can you explain that?
Let the CEO make a comment on that, Chair. Thank you, Chairman. During the transition to the current government, the Directorate...
CEO, you see, it's not my duty to come and identify this issue here, and you start going back to talk of transition, yet to have people in your offices. This is something for a clerk to just compile and harmonize. Let us not use transition when something has already been paid, and you are bringing it here as a document saying it's a pending bill.
Apologies, Chairman. This is not a pending bill anymore.
So let us not talk about transition, because those issues, in fact, these are very simple issues. It's about aligning payments.
Chairman, I was answering the question you asked. What is the relationship between trade and agriculture?
No, you can explain to us why you are presenting a pending bill that is already paid.
Just to assist the chairman, you know, when I see you, we don't take things for granted here. You know, like for this case, for Kipkelion, the contractor that is captured under trade and paid is the same contractor that you are bringing for us here. You want to pay again. The same contractor, the same project, the same everything. What is the problem here?
From Waziri's summary,
same contractor.
Financial year 2022-23 is nil. This document for cooperatives was paid, and that is why it is nil. So the same document, apologies that it's appearing here as pending bill.
Why?
But
because if we didn't have this committee,
we paid.
If there was no other committee, we could not know what's happening behind the scenes, because this one could have been presented as, it is stated as pending bills. So these are very serious, because what if we had not moved on a motion in this house to form a committee to investigate? What could be happening behind the scenes?
For us as a department, we paid this. It's cleared from our end. That's why 2023 is reading nil. So it's not a pending bill from our department.
It is indicated here as pending bills.
So, Chairman, it is erroneous. It's not supposed to be part of our presentation, our submission.
Who was doing this document? Who was preparing the document? What was the intention? Because I only mentioned one, but you see almost the whole list. Who was this person sitting in the computer, typing it? Where is the source of this information?
Yeah, through the chair, I would request that we use the final list, the one which you have circulated, which clearly indicates that for the financial year 2022-2023, we didn't have any pending bill as a department. And then for the financial year 2023-2024, the ones which have been indicated, even a case of Kamugeni Tea Buying Center in Cheplanget. I'm glad that Honorable MCA is here and you are quite aware of the situation. This is a case where the contractor began works and unfortunately was unable to complete. So we have captured it as pending commitments and we have not paid. So our case is very peculiar. We have some tea buying centers where the contractors offload the documents and they are unable to complete the works. So Chair, kindly take note of that the ones for the cooperatives, we don't have any pending bill for the cooperatives, they were paid. And at the moment, what we only have, the first pending bills which you are aware as a department, will be the ones for this financial year, should the contractors not conclude works.
So I think, Chairman, so you are now trying to recuse yourself from this document, that this document is null and void.
No, not really. We are trying to say, through the chair, we are trying to say that what was captured as pending bill then was paid.
All right.
And these other documents which we circulated with the summary indicating that for the year 2022-2023 now closes that pending bill as at that year.
So this was just an annexure.
It was only for our own information and maybe it got to your attention. How otherwise it was for our own consumption. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else?
Maybe Chairman, I would want more clarification from BID. There is this thing, the contractor submitted a pending bill of for 2015 by the name Eldor Logistics. It's a renovation for Kipkutun Cattle Dip from Kapsoit. I don't know whether you are aware of the case from 2015, and it is a renovation of Kipkutun Cattle Dip.
Did you say 2015?
2015. It's captured as per the contractor's presentation. So maybe you would tell us maybe what could be the challenge, or could there be any problem? Because now 2015 to date is is about going to 10 years now. Yeah, and I think this one is okay. I think for 2015 was Kipkutun, and the contractor is Eldor Logistics. Maybe you can confirm that, because
it's not to my attention. I'm not aware about that.
Bonasio, and that is why we said, why don't you supply to this committee the pending bills, the legible pending bills from the department. Now we have them for 2021, 2022. One, Brenda Cherono. The company is Balrone. Construction of Chepkoa Tea Buying Center. I don't know the word. I know my word. Okay. I'm reliably informed that the area member of County Assembly confirmed that it was cancelled. But then the lady approached the Contractors Association with a claim, but the MCA has clarified. So maybe with the 2015 one is what you need to confirm.
Chair,
Honorable Possible.
Chair, let me say something. And the office is the one which deals with some of this documentation. So I would want to say that if someone is really affected, we have been in office, and some of you have come to office, you will find that in many cases we are in office, or if I'm not in office, at least one of the CEOs is around. And we have encouraged them to put across all their issues for us to be able to act on them. We don't deny that there could be some overlaps somewhere, but unless they are brought to our attention, some of it we may not be able to know. And I have a case which somebody claims that everything was done and money was paid from IB, and then it was taken back. And when we followed, even with my colleague Jackson Rob and the CEO there, together with my CEOs, we realized that the works were not completed, and that particular work was given to another contractor, and it's a long story. So some of them want to take advantage of our being maybe still a little bit new in the departments to cover up a number of issues that they think we may not be able to know. So I want to plead with this committee that if we have issues that they have raised, kindly, let us be notified so that we can be able to address them adequately and give a feedback to the committee of the current situation as it is. Thank you, Chair.
So, but I hope Waziri will take note on that.
Yes.
I think that is a matter of concern, because you see, if someone really did that work and to date has not been paid, don't you think that if it was a loan, of course, 10 years, you know, it must have grown to be double. So take note of that, contractor.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Madam CEO, for clarifying about this issue of Kamugeni Tea Buying Center. Waziri, you promised Rogon that you will compensate in the next financial year to build tea buying centers. I don't know on which foot, or, you know, he's silent about it because you have promised it. But we don't know from which budget. We don't know. You will explain later. But anyway, you know, we are live. This proceeding is live on social media. It's everywhere. So, and there are people whom we are representing. They have sent their concerns. And there is a contractor who said, and I want to know, we want to know as a committee, why are the procurement officer editing LSOs or LPOs of other companies and issuing to companies of their interest? Is it true? And if it's true, we'll explain to us. And again, he's asking on what grounds can LSO or LPO be reversed or cancelled in system after issuing to a contractor initially? Number 3, what duration should a contractor be issued with an LSO or LPO after being given an award letter and signed a contract agreement? He's asking again, is it good for a contractor to be in corridors following an LSO then after completing their project? Yeah.
Okay. Chair and Mheshimiwa, that's a very grave situation, because editing of a government document is criminal. And I would like to undertake to investigate that matter, and that if we find any officer culpable, then definitely action is going to be taken. But I've just said that it is criminal to edit government corrected information as they are presented. Secondly, LSOs or LPOs can be cancelled, and I think it is always indicated in the letter of offer in circumstances that the contractor of a service is unable to follow the instructions of that were required for that particular contract or service, then the department is at liberty to cancel, because it is provided for in the offer letter that some conditions, you know, the LSOs or LPO is given with some conditions, so that you have to do this job, you have to do at this much that you have said, what timelines, and how the supervision is going to be taken. So if if we find that at some point maybe 1 or 2 or 3 has not been adhered to, then I think we just follow what is provided for to be able to cancel that. What was the last question?
And then maybe to support Waziri, some of those issues raised and brought to your attention, honorable members, they are mostly administrative, which we can handle at our offices because we operate on an open door policy. So kindly allow us to streamline those issues which they are being raised. It can be handled at our level. It doesn't have to really get to your attention.
Vice Chair, maybe just to look at what the contractor has raised in the Department of Agriculture. There is something that I want to invite you, unless the member added this one. Sorry. I only have 2 issues. And the claim that I made earlier, where I lost around 3 million, was because of a CEO who chose to give out works without following even what we And that's why I kept on coming. Betsy is aware. I'm curious. We have a word called TAPS 8. This financial year, the word is doing 2 buying centers, 2.2 million and 2.3 worth of works. If you add, it is 4.5 million. What the member allocated to that particular project is 3.2 million. So it means Honorable Chirchir is going to eat somebody else's allocation by about 1 million. I mean, Waziri, this is where we are losing. And the reason why I'm really happy, and the governor ought to be guided. I know governor is trying to do away with the schedule. You know, Kericho County is implementing what is equivalent to World Development Fund. Because you cannot do works for a ward beyond the allocation. So the point I'm making is, how are you trying to address this? Because like the 2 buying centers I did is exact. In fact, I was approaching Betsy that in case there was an over expenditure in one of those projects, we were trying to work on the BQ just to fit what I allocated. But you find a member who has short of that allocation doing the 2 buying centers. I mean, completely unfair. Unless Betsy can confirm during supplementary 2, the member added the money. And you've got to prove to this committee.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to accept the concern by the Honorable Member, but also remind you that, you see, when we tender these jobs, there is always a reserved price and there is a budgeted price. For example, you could talk about 3 million shillings worth of a project, and when we tender, we get a contractor who can do it with 2.5. You will realize that we have a saving of 500, and that saving can be used at some point to maybe, top up in some of the areas that are adequately requiring that particular works to be done, but could have faced a little challenge in terms of the available funds. So we normally have those savings are available, and the department can redeploy the savings within the same line, but maybe to ensure that something else is done so that that money can be utilized. Yeah.
Thank you. Now I think we've... Okay.
And this is a concern. I remember I spoke to you, Waziri. I was trying to look for Betsy, but I was unable to reach her. But I spoke to you about a contractor who's done the job. And Chairman, maybe this is something that they need to give us an undertaking. A contractor has completely cleared the job. But he's frustrated by our own officers. The QS, the public works officer, has gone to the site, looked at the project, and give it a nod for the next process to start. But then we have an officer, I don't know, Betsy will tell us, how much are you charging is it supervision fee? If a project is worth 3 million, what goes to that supervision? Because I have a contractor, a young man, who's been frustrated by your own officers. Somebody here comes to the office and says, we've not gone to the site to check the project. But the public works officer has always been there. And then they are demanding for a certain amount of money. These contractors are human beings. And they are using their own money they borrow. When you frustrate them, taking a whole 100,000, how much are you charging these contractors for supervision? Maybe you can tell us.
Do we retain them? Waziri? We don't retain them. Answer. No. Mheshimiwa, I think what you are raising is a very serious concern. And I'm making a decision here that one, I was just trying to look into my office when you saw me close my eyes. And I realized we don't even have a suggestion box in my office. So I want to invite those people to, I'll ensure that a suggestion box is put where I will be the one to open personally, so that I can get some of this classified information, especially on rogue officers who are not behaving correctly and who are not discharging their responsibilities as they are required. Because now we cannot be here to defend them on that. And I want to assure you that it is not a policy of this department to frustrate contractors or service providers. We want them to be paid as soon as they have cleared what we had asked them to do. So in the cases that we have, you know, maybe some crooked officers disturbing or not doing very nice things, I want that information to be relayed to me directly. And I think my number, my mobile number is available. We'll make it available to most of those contractors as well, so that they can directly communicate to me in as far as the hitches and the bottlenecks that they have when they are providing the services that we have contracted them to do. So that case will be looked into, and I think since a number of these officers have been mentioned, I am going to have a meeting with them immediately, possibly tomorrow. I'll convene all of them so that we can share the concerns and also give them direction on what needs to be done immediately. Thank you, Chair.
There is a question that was not answered sufficiently, and you were asked what duration after award will it take to generate an LSO?
I think it will be very short. The award letters normally have conditions like acceptance, blah, 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 all those things. So as soon as that is available, then they should be given an LSO to start off the service that they have been contracted to do.
The shortest time, let's say, for example, if somebody meets that today, will they get the LSO tomorrow?
At least 14 days, because you know we normally give the room for those appeals in terms of the awarding. Normally the, what do you call them, the tenderies, those who have tendered, have a window if they want to complain within 14 days. So the department cannot issue an LSO until after the expiry of that 14 days and when we do not have any challenge that
now
pertaining to that.
Before I give to Honorable Aaron, there are things that maybe you'll give us as the CC and the CEO on pending bills. We would like to know what causes pending bills in your department, and again the issue of budget absorption, because after approval of the budget sometimes it takes time to implement some programs in our wards, and most programs are being implemented at the end tail when almost another financial year is being closed. That is when projects are being implemented with high pressure. So why can the programs be implemented in the first and second quarter so that the people can be able to get the services within the shortest time and we are able to deliver and do absorb the budget? We do not want to see a situation whereby we will report that you are absorbing budget at 50% when we are supposed to absorb 100%. So maybe you can also explain to us on what fails you and what causes pending bills. Though what I can comment is, as per the report that you have submitted to us, is it's impressive that the Department of Agriculture, at least we are happy that the pending bills are low. We only need to perfect and even refine those other things like documentation, those people who are still not paid in the first charge. So maybe some of few things, but now you need to tell us what do we do to avoid these pending bills.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, the issue that sometimes causes accumulation of pending bills is, I had stated earlier that you know, some awards, people can anticipate work to be done, and they do. Number two, you could be on the ground, and there is a variance in terms of the what do you call it? The specifications of the works that is being done, and within our our rights, you could vary. For example, if you are doing a project and you realize that something else needed to have been done alongside this other project, but within the given percentages of variations, which I believe you are aware of, we could actually, extend that kind of whatever by just, adding that to the contractor and then coming to work on the documents. So sometimes maybe because of that there is a hitch, and especially when there is a change in terms of the departmental management and the understanding that is between the officers and those who provide the service. Secondly, budget absorption. Mr. Chairman and the committee members, I think you are aware that most of the monies that we spend is what we get from Exchequer. And normally, as the chair has alluded, we could really want to implement some of these programs in very good time. But we have a problem in what we receive from the national government, that is the money that comes to the county, and it doesn't come. You realize every 2 weeks or every month, there is money that has been transferred or that is being transferred to the counties, and therefore it may not be equivalent to the amount of works that we would wish done. And sometimes, according to the PFM Act, we cannot be able to give out a tender or a job until we are sure that we have the money. So you realize that we always lag behind. The money has to come to hit the accounts. That's the time we begin the process of tendering for the services that we require. So that again delays. Towards the end, and it's an interesting question that has been asked here, towards the end there is always so much activity. And at that time, it is not only within the county government of Kericho or the Department of Agriculture, but you will find that the Exchequer monies can be pushed very quickly. Like now, Mr. Chair, I would like to report that there is a project we are implementing called NAVCDP, National Agriculture Value Chain Development Project, which we have given a very big figure, and we have been budgeting. We have gone to the ground to prepare, and to date, no money has been posted, and we have only like 2 weeks. As late as last week, when His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya had a meeting with the governors, they discussed about this project, and you may get a notice that money has been disbursed, and within 2 weeks. And if you look at the timelines that we require to give out the tenders, then we are beaten with that. So sometimes we have those challenges, and really it is not a creation of us, but also it is about the cash flow from the Exchequer, the national government, and within the county itself. Thank you.
Chairman, there is something that I wanted clarified. Honorable Langat, you explained the process of procurement. There is something that I'm trying to establish. Is it that we have a problem with the procurement officers in a department, like even yours? The reason is, you gave out, have 20 buying centers which are complete. The contractors have their letters, but now them getting the LSO up to date is a problem. I'm not saying that maybe you people are making mistakes. Who is this person? Because there is no single appeal, the documents are okay, but then LSOs, they are not getting them. Betsy.
Yeah, thank you. Through the chair, yes, I'm aware of the 2 buying centers in your ward. Well completed, well done, and we are in the final stage of now producing the LSO. So as mentioned earlier, those are administrative issues, and if you can allow us, we'll handle them administratively. Yes.
And Chair, that is the reason why we are still hopeful that by the 30th of June, we will have sorted many of the service providers who have been given our works to do, in as far as 2024 and 2025 financial year is concerned. So we still have a small window, and we are burning the midnight oil. Sometimes my CEOs and some of those officers, they work even into the night, trying to compile the documentation to ensure that everything is fine, so that we do not have to be called to this house to defend an illegality or an omission that occurred from our side. Yes, thank you.
Maybe, Chairman, I want to seek about two clarification from the CC. Oh, number one, CC, there was a climate smart. I don't know whether there was any funds.
Sorry?
Climate smart or
climate smart
ceases.
Yes.
It ceased. Maybe number two.
It wound up.
And if it is, maybe you can give us probably what they are doing. Number two, there's this issue that you've just been told by the Honorable Chairman on the issue of the absorption. He was asking what is the percentage of the current 2024-2025 budgets, how much has been probably given out, because remember there are some of the words that have not been issued with the projects, but yet they committed their funds on the same, probably because of the reasons, one or two. And if you can tell this committee if it is 90%, 70% commitment, then probably which chairman, what will you do with the balances? Because now, like for Dust Crops, I understand it was about 90 million. These honorable members appropriated. I don't know how much has been committed on the same. I think that is it, Chairman.
Okay, Chair. To date, in terms of the tea buying centers, we've done quite a lot, and I think when I checked last, 135 or 136 tea buying centers have been either renovated or constructed, and therefore the implementation of that program or that policy is going on. We are generally on the overall absorption of the budget for the department, we are way above 80%, and I believe maybe even within the 2 weeks and the pending documentation that's going on now being sorted, we may go to 92% there. Yeah. Climate Smart wound up, and that is why I've talked about a new program called NAV-CDP, which has come in. So we no longer have any program or funds coming in for the Climate Smart agriculture.
Now, there's this document that was presented to us by the contractors, and we have a list of around 13 of them, and the pending bills is 30,312,128. You see this document, you cannot, it comes from the contractors, and we are the representatives of the people, including them, and it's our role to do the oversight. And they have listed projects done in different places, like Kapsoit, Pesonik, Shara, Kaplelartet. There is what we call department, there is Kapsoit, there is Sigawetsuin, and some are department. Let me mention, for example, one. It's called Mike Kendagor, number 11. Dagor General Supplies. Supply of milk can, 600,000, department, partially documented. You see, I don't think somebody can, especially an association, because they have an association. I don't think they can just come and do a claim that they have done some work. They have mentioned where it has been done. For example, tea buying center and a toilet. And it is for the year 2024-2025. I don't know whether that one is an ongoing project, which has been done in the right way, because I am seeing the only unique one is the one that is for 2021-2022 for my Namwe, construction of Chepkowa Tea Buying Center.
Chep?
Yeah, I hope maybe you had mentioned, okay, sorry. Oh, okay, you have clarified. So those are the things that maybe 30 million, you see, when you came before us and we saw 12 million, we are very happy because we saw you are among the least departments with least pending bills. But now, before us is another one, document of people saying you owe them 30 million.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, these ones of 24-25, I don't think it's an issue because we have not closed, and probably the documentation and the processes that are being done. So maybe I should just request for a little patience from them so that they can make that claim. Number two, I want to request also, because that's now a public document, if it is been tabled before the House, it is up. Please access that document so that we can also be able to look at and ascertain some of these claims, whether they deserve that attention or we need to do something for them.
We will tell the association to supply the documents to you officially, to your department, since they also supplied to us, so they can also supply to your department. Again, maybe what we'll need again from you, we still need some documentation for this financial year, so that we can be able to understand what programs did you or are you planning to are you implementing or planning to implement before the closure of the year, and if there are others that have been paid, plan to be paid, and maybe those are under requisitions. Again, you see there's an issue of payments of works. For example, it is very good to be equitable, meaning you do a fair, for example, works done in Ward A, Ward B, Ward C, because we have 6 sub-counties, we have 30 wards. So I believe if work is being done across the county, even payments and anything being done should be done in an equitable manner, so that there is no people who are being prioritized over others. Because there are claims that there are companies that are given priority. I didn't mention this department. I'm saying countywide, even in other departments, there are allegations that those companies that are preferred by people within the county are given more priorities. Because you see, we have people who are really crying. We have people who have suffered. Some claim that they have died. Some are sick. Some in the hospitals because of maybe the death. So actually that's why we are advocating on behalf of the people that fairness is the best way to handle maybe anything that is being done. Because even those people doing business with the county are still our people. They are our brothers, they are our sisters, and they also deserve to be given a fair share. Again, there's a claim that if you are not politically correct, also you suffer. Those are the things that maybe have been tabled in this house. But it's our role to investigate also, and also to make recommendations. If there are any allegations of favoritism and fairness, that's our role. And we also have oversight bodies who are supposed to also assist this house to do further clarification on that. So kindly, those are the things that we need to. The others, I think we focused only on development. You never shared recurrent, because recurrent is also part of the county.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe I took the question very directly, because the question was asking for any pending bills. So I just went to that. But in the other side of recurrent, we don't have any dues pending to either our employees or even ourselves. We don't have, because recurrent budget is always a specific budget, and we control the uptake of that budget depending on available resources that are there and budgeted resources. So we don't have so far, maybe for 2024-25, and I've said that we are still working on a few of them before the end of the year. So we didn't have any. Maybe I just want to respond also to the concerns of the chair. The issue of politically correct is a statement that people always make when you don't make it to get, we are all human beings, and there has to be a reason why you think the other one is not getting. Is it because I didn't vote for the governor, or is it I didn't I didn't vote for the MCA? But you see, in our tender analysis, we don't consider those. We consider documentation and the bids the way they have been given. So that's just a political statement as well, to say that whether you are politically correct or not. The other issue of people, some companies being given preferences. Honorable Chair, I think it is this House and the National Assembly which gave the conditions, which gave the the requirements that one needs to, to do or to meet to be able to be allowed to provide service to any part of the government, whether national or county. So some of these upcoming contractors could have issues with documentation. You'll find some of them, they don't have the, for example, if it is construction, may not have the NCA approvals as at that time. And I'm talking about the NCA approval is sought every year. It is renewed every year. So some of them may submit the one for last year or the other year, and it becomes a problem. And sometimes we are lenient to allow them to go and renew and maybe bring back something like that. So you'll find that those delays are because of some of those small issues. So maybe what we'll do, if we have good relations with the Contractors Association, which I think we should, is that we should be having engagements so that we also tell them what they need to have for them to qualify to be able to be service providers. And the timelines that are required every time a tender is floated, and even the types of tenders. Because there are tenders that you may wait to see them in the newspapers and you cannot find them. And then the following day you see someone has been given an award letter to do something, and you're like, we didn't see this tender, but it's because of the systems that are there. If a tender is less than 3 million, I think the CEOs here know what they normally do. If it's 5 million, and if it is beyond that figure, what happens? And everything has been provided for in the law, and therefore I would like to urge our citizenry to be aware of those particular requirements so that it supports them when they are doing that, and bringing in the correct documents for us to be able to process them well and award them accordingly. Otherwise, we are fair. we even consider the youth. I think we have projects that have been done by the youth, projects that have been done by the PWDs, and even women. And we are considerate of all that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, and through the chair, I would request that you allow us to present later, now that the programs which have been implemented, as well as the fast charge, which is well reconciled. Kindly disregard the earlier one which was circulated.
We'll make a ruling before we end the meeting on that. Honorable Member. Peter Gemma.
Thank you, Chair. Wasiri, this project which has been done under FLOCA programs, which fall under agriculture. Are you at a point of identifying and confirm to this House that if you are the one procuring those works, and the status of those works? Secondly, in the Department of Livestock, I have 2 cooperative societies in my ward. I requested to procure milk containers, and I have been liaising with you almost 2 or 3 months ago now, and always there's a tune of Tuesday. So I don't know which Tuesday to be specific. So I need a clear answer because we are almost at the tail end of the financial year. And since we approved the budget almost a year ago, and we have not received these services, what does that mean? Does it mean there's a laxity in the department? Does it mean there's a lot of laxity with the person who took the tender, or it is in the procurement side? Because if you promise farmers that now by Tuesday you will receive your containers, now I've said it is more than 3 months. The moment we talk with the chief officer, he promised that now it will be, the last day now will be next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
There's no any other day, only Tuesday. So I don't know if we have to be ready for Tuesday or what is this Tuesday. Thank you.
I think a CEO can answer that, then I take the other one.
Thank you, Chair. It's true we awarded a tender for supply for millicans for Kapsuser Ward, for Kapsuser Farmers Cooperative and Borborwit Farmers Cooperative. We work with the supplier, and once we have awarded the tender, then we wait for them to supply before we process payments. The paperwork documentation was completed, the tender was awarded. The contractor, when I was asked by the honorable member, when are we receiving the millicans, the feedback I was giving was from the contractor that they'll supply on a particular Tuesday. Indeed, it has not happened. My final word with the contractor was when I was applying again, I think the contractor promised that before we close this month, they'll have supplied us, because I've told them that they risk going into a pending bill. So my apologies for the delay. Sometimes it's out of our hands, because once we have awarded a tender, then when they await for them to supply, until now, unless they fail the required period, is when we can decide to take the next step. But for now, I'm still hopeful, Mheshimiwa, that within this month we'll be able to receive the supply for the millicans. Thank you.
Honorable Moses.
Chair, there is another question. Okay. Sorry.
You want to answer?
I proceed?
Yes, answer.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to answer the question on FLOCA, but also reinforce what the CEO has said. When we award a contract, we normally give a period depending on the works that we have procured. For example, if it is just a supply, it's normally within 30 days or sometimes 60 days. If the materials being sourced are maybe from a far place and the contractor has confided that that is a duration that is reasonable. Normally, if that is not done within that specific period, I think now it invites a reason for us here to be able to question or to follow up with the contractor with a possibility of taking back that service that we have procured from him. That is just on to further make you understand what happens when when you have already given a job and maybe the contractor has delayed. And this is also occasioned by the fact that we try to give those, upcoming personalities within our county. And sometimes maybe their finances in terms of what is required to be supplied doesn't come the way they had planned. It is not like when you are constructing where you have to submit the certificates and maybe get some part payments and all that to continue to keep going on with the construction of what you are doing. In the matter of FLOCA, I want to report, Chair, that yes, we are some of the programs that are implemented through FLOCA touch on agriculture. But I want to report to this House and the committee, Chair, that we are not the procuring entity with regard to the FLOCA programs. However, we give the technical support in terms of what is agriculture-based, what is required that touches on our department. And to that end, we have seconded an officer to that particular committee, which is administered under our sister department of water and environment. So that is how it goes.
Maybe Chair, Waziri can clarify now, in case the works under FLOCA will be in charge, will be answerable. Since you are not the one procuring, maybe you can confirm to us.
Well, definitely,
in case of anything.
Definitely, Chair, it is the procuring entity. I've just said we provide the
in your department.
We provide the technical support. That's why we have seconded an officer to the committee that deals with the procurement of these programs, for the purposes of making that other department understand what agriculture does, especially when the works or the service required is actually supposed to be domiciled within the Ministry of Agriculture. And I would like to report, Chair, that this has been a contentious issue, even when we had the caucus of the CECMs for agriculture across the country. There appeared to have been some clash in terms of, yes, the program is in agriculture, we need to implement it, but the program gave procurement responsibility to water. And it's like that all over the country for those counties which are involved in the FLOCA thing. And it has been reported actually that the system was not working very well, because a lot of projects are done under agriculture, but now the procurement is done by another entity. That's the challenge.
Okay, Honorable Moses. Thank you so much, Chair, for the engagement. I think mine is just a general comment. Now that we are approaching the end of 2024-2025, we are looking forward to a new financial year of 2025 and 2026, which is generally a very critical budget for purposes of progress of this county. Waziri, we have noted initially that the concentration of power in agriculture has been to the tea growing zones, such that every other time we are having a line item concentrated towards construction of tea buying centers. I wish to use this forum, Waziri, and CEOs to bring to your attention that not the entire of this county are tea growers. We have the potato growers, like the extent of Tendeno. We have growers of pyrethrum. We have growers of coffee, and also fish farmers. Going into these budgets, before it is even committed, it is prudent that it is, and also the maize farmers. Now that you are having a maize mill as constructed in Londiani, you would need a periphery collection points. That is the maize buying center for that of buying centers, and also all manner of the value chains that has been incorporated into these many other programs running in the county. Thank you, Waziri, because you have realized that there are issues surrounding the implementation of FLOCA. We noted this long ago, including the NAF CDP, how it was incepted, and maybe going into the future, you also need to go to the field and find out exactly what is happening, so that at the end of the day, you will have a different picture of what is in the ground and what is brought to the limelight at our offices. The Chairman, I thank you.
Thank you. Can you respond to that?
Okay, thank you, Mheshimiwa. I quite agree with you that we need to distribute, development fairly. But what I have a little bit of challenge is when you say we are concentrating on the T areas. We, as a government, we treat the entire county the same with its own uniqueness, which you have specified yourself. You have indicated that, for example, the area, the Tendeno Soget that you're coming from, has got very high potential for pyrethrum, maize, fish, and also milk. And we should be able to focus on that. So when I came to the ministry, and you might have seen me, going around to try and understand, because there is an activity that was undertaken, I think, by the national government called the crop mapping, and we have been able to know which areas can grow which crops. And therefore, based on that, I've been able to visit recently KALRO institutions, which are in charge of, focusing on pyrethrum, potato, the normal potato, not the sweet potato. We have also looked at the areas of where we can do fish farming, and I want to assure you and this house that in this financial year, we have made a proposal as executive to have the budget for agriculture enhanced, so that we can be able to cover some of those new enterprises that we want to engage in. Recently, Mr. Chair, I attended a national macadamia conference in Embu, and the macadamia issue is a new crop, has a very, very big potential. And I later learned that the KALRO had actually come to Londiani, and they were trying to propagate some of the varieties that they think will be suitable to be grown within our area. I further checked and found that we have farmers who are already engaged in macadamia farming, and that is why if you look at the portfolio that we have within the agriculture, especially on the crop section, I would want to plead with this house to consider the budget, even on top of saying what Mheshimiwa Rogonya said, that it is a kind of a CDF, a development fund for all the wards. Let us also be cognizant of the fact that some areas are good enough to engage in a certain activity and others in certain activities, so that even as we consider the approval for those financing or fundings, this house consider those kind of situations, so that we are able to create an impact together. Because I believe, Mr. Chairman, that if we win in terms of changing the lives of our people, the representatives of the people are the first, the direct winners in terms of them being effective in creating that opportunity and creating the wealth for our people. So as in the department, we will work hand in hand with this house and the members of County Assembly at large to ensure that all that the population requires is supported within the budgets that we have. So maybe at another opportunity we'll come here to maybe, and further that discussion in terms of the budget allocation so that we are able to do those things. And finally, to Honorable Member, what the tea growing areas are doing is still part of your work because you are a member of this assembly, you are a member of this county. But also, let us also see what else we can do in the other areas where we cannot be able to do the tea, so that we can balance in terms of the programs, even the national projects like the NAFCDP. Some of them, Mr. Chairman, they are conceived in the national government, and maybe even at the very high level of World Bank and the financiers. So when they come, they prescribe a certain way in which some of these programs could be implemented. So we just have to plug into them and ensure that we use that opportunity to support what we are already doing and captured in the CIDP and also the ADP and our budget. Thank you.
Thank you. To supplement on what Honorable Moses is saying, is, for example, in our area, we have pyrethrum, and you see when you do a crop, there must be value addition or even processing and even weighing and those other logistics. For example, when you come to tea, they have collection points. When you come to pyrethrum, we also have, I believe last year Governor came when Kentagra was trying to launch a place for collection point, and you remember, if you were there, the CEO, what the farmers are using is only a weighing scale and a pole, which if it rains, then it means the produce will be destroyed. Sure. So they need other things like dryers, they need other things like shades. So sometimes in the budget, we need to consider also that those farmers who are doing other crops also need structures to be able to handle those crops. Well, let me mention about macadamia. Calrock came to Londiani and they established research, and they found that some of the places in Londiani and part of Tenano and Kidawa Kimugul could produce macadamia, and even some of the farmers have already started planting macadamia. Now, a crop like that in future will also need structures, maybe a processing, drying, and those other chains that requires the crop to succeed in quality and maybe even in harvesting and storage. So, because we want to wind up, time is not on our side. We want to sum up that, you see, there are documents that we will require by end of Friday that you submit to this house. Kindly, we would like to clarify, further on this issue of the contractors, where they have submitted pending bills worth 30 million. Also, we would like to follow up on some of the things highlighted in your documents by the members here. And most likely we will visit the sites, but you supplement to us documents because there are discrepancies in some of the items. Kindly furnish us with proper documentation, but we will still be able to follow up again on those items. Again, when you're submitting the documents, kindly we will need IFMIS generated statements, because those are the true picture of what was paid. We will also need to see the procurement plan. And again, you didn't capture the recurrent expenditure. So you need to capture the recurrent expenditure and the status of what was done within the recurrent expenditure, because we want to look at pending bills across the board. You see, I know it is juicy for us to look at the development, but we are looking at the whole county expenditure. I remember we are moving to a new accounting system. That is the accrual accounting system, where resources are mapped to work, and also payments and expenses are done together. And I know if we leave out in the next financial year those people who have not been properly accounted for, because it is no longer going to be a disclosure, it will be termed as liability when we want to pay a pending bill. So kindly, we would like to know, because I know the challenge that will come is the association has so many ways of also fighting for their rights. They can do anything, either through this house or any other place. So kindly, you need to rectify, come up with the right documentation. If this that is captured here is an ongoing project, kindly we need to have it properly shown. Maybe another question is the issue of other projects from the donors, the donor projects. Because we have seen there is the SDP, the ASDSP, there is the NAFCBD, FLOCA. Again, currently it's being audited by, it is audited by OAG. Before it was self-reporting. So you also need to actually state on those projects and how expenses is being done, because it is now our side to oversight and look at what is being done in that in the donor projects. For example, you see, we have also seen tractors being bought and we didn't budget. I don't know what you can mention about such kind of projects. We are seeing tractors and some items being done, which is good, we appreciate, but you see, for fairness and accountability, it is our role to know where is the source of the money, how is it being spent, is it being spent correctly? So those are the things that maybe we'd like to know. Maybe briefly, Waziri, you can state briefly about the donor projects. You sum up the donor projects, and you can highlight to us also about maybe those key things that we see, which are good, like even purchase of tractors and other things.
Thank you, Chair. I was just trying to confirm some information. We had one of the let me start with the issue of the tractors that the other day you saw His Excellency the Governor flagging off, and there was an amount of some amount that was available for cooperatives. I think it was targeting the cooperatives, but the cooperatives were required to do a few things. One, you decide what you really required at that level of the cooperative and put them in a proposal form and send to the team that is sitting within my department, but the funding is coming from the NAFCDP. So once that was done and the processes were completed, this dairy cooperative in Kabianga had requested that they needed to have a tractor together with the cutter, what do you call the chopper, as well as a trailer, because their biggest issue was getting the feed for the animals they are keeping, so that they can be able to improve on the milk availability or deliveries. So each of those, the three cooperatives were selected: Kabianga Cooperative, Ruskebe, and the one in Bureti is called Kibagenge in Bureti. And they were given a free hand to develop a proposal, which they did. I think Kabianga, their proposal was totaling to about 6.5, and Ruskebe 8 million. Yeah. 8 million, and the other one was also 2 point something. All of them were approved, and the money is channeled directly to those cooperatives. It doesn't pass through our system. And therefore, they were now required to do as they had proposed to do. That's how those tractors came up, and it was the farmers who decided, and that was their responsibility. But maybe going forward, I think the approach that NAFCDP now is doing, and there's another program coming up, is that yes, we have to have a role as a department so that farmers could also be advised correctly. But if you had the head of state some time back, he has been talking about cutting off the middle people, so that the farmer can access the funding directly. And he has said over the last 60 years or so, the funding model has been through government system, and at the end of the conclusion of every program or every project, you had very little to show or nothing at all. So this time round, government, or through the directions of His Excellency the President and the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Project Committee, which has been created, which works together with the COG, then they have decided that is the model they are going to be using. So those discussions, I think, will be available. And I think what you have requested, Mr. Chairman, will be uptaken, and we undertake to work very hard to ensure that we submit those requirements by Friday. You say end of business on Friday? Yes. Thank you.
Vice Chair, can you make a comment?
Thank you. I only have one question and a comment. One, both chief officers are receivers of revenue.
Yeah, sorry?
You know, the two chief officers,
Yes.
There was a directive initially from the Department of Finance that the receivers of revenue were the chief officers. Dr. Bett, I once came up with a motion.
Sorry, you said the receivers
of revenue.
Revenue, okay.
Yes, you know the 10 accounting officers, 10 or so, were supposed to ensure revenues under their docket you know, obtained, and of course, as we fight for the target. But then, we still have in your department, Dr. Bett, you know, there are people who are keeping livestock in this town. Nothing has ever happened. They are still roaming around. I know you did something down there. There is a place they normally confine. And there was a time your officers were very keen to enforce that, but it died out. Maybe you'll give us a comment, because the reason why we have pending bills is because of unmet targets. And you're one of the people who are supposed to ensure that these targets are met. And then lastly, I'm happy, Honorable Magere, that your department is doing extremely well. We do not have serious issues, except for the few. There was a time when Betsy was the CEO in charge of PSM, Public Service Management. And I recall when you appeared before us in Hills to defend the budget. You know, we gave the best proposals, and most of them were even done. In the Department of Agriculture, even the mess that happened before, you've successfully corrected. What I'm simply saying, Betsy, whenever we look for you, it's not because we have issues. We're trying to ensure some of the things that we've put in place are done. So what I'm simply saying, Mheshimiwa, is ensure some of these things that we are saying are actually undertaken, because if I'm satisfied as a member of County Assembly, then the department too is okay.
Sure.
We have rogue chief officers in this county, and it's unfortunate they'll still appear before us. And the reason why we have this motion is because of so many things. So what I would say, Mheshimiwa, iyako tengeneza vizuri. Lastly, I know when I talked about this schedule being adhered to, is because we're trying to share these resources equitably. You know, in your department, there was a proposal, that is why I'm coming back to Betsy, that there was a proposal the governor wanted to put up a maize milling plant. It's already there. We did a budget, we agreed with the governor. If in your wisest, you know, in your opinion, Honorable Langat, because you are the principal advisor to the governor in that docket, if you feel the people of Tendeno Soget, they want to put up something related to the pyrethrum, we normally don't refuse. In fact, we don't share that one. We agree because we are trying to help, or we are even trying to improve. Let me give you the last one. The avocado industry. There is a total outcry at the moment. Why don't you come up with a proposed legislation for us to ensure these people who come from Nyeri or wherever they're coming from to Kericho to collect avocados and heat them somewhere and depriving farmers of their livelihood. We ensure that we are dealing with them. So we need to have a legislation from your docket that will enable this house to pass a law, and then we ensure avocado farmers are safeguarded from the people who are making millions of money out of them, and they are getting nothing. Yet, at the moment, through a docket, we are giving out avocados in numbers. So I think that is my take. What I would only want to request is Bet and Betty, the revenues attributed to your dockets. Case in point even, and as a chair of finance, we are going to make a move to visit Kabianga Tea Farm, because we still want to know, why are we not making money out of it? The Coffee Society in Kipkelion, we will follow it up, and so many other revenue streams in your dockets. Are we really meeting targets, or we will come back again? Remember, we went all the way to Senate, and we don't want to go back again.
Thank you for the comment, Vice Chair. And now we are at around 1:05 p.m. and I think we have taken more time than we were expecting. But I think the discussion is good, and I hope you have also taken note of other things apart from the pending bills that have been mentioned. Maybe to the CEO for livestock, the issue of transition is important for you to go and rectify what we saw here, because so that whatever belongs to trade should be for trade, whatever belongs to cooperative should be fully be run by cooperative, so that the pending bills that were captured by the trade department, if it is for trade, let it be for trade. If it is for cooperatives, let it be for cooperatives. But if it's already paid through trade, then you harmonize. Because I've seen some have been illustrated. So there being no, again, you also look at the budget for 2024-2025. It's very keen. It's very key to us. We would like to see that the projects being implemented is actually related to the schedules. You see the issue of the schedule. Let me explain properly. Last week the governor mentioned that we should not be having schedule. But remember, the activities and things that people want on the ground might not be the big things. For example, even we need maybe the milling plant. But you see there is a farmer who wants to grow an avocado, which is worth maybe even 300 shillings. There is a farmer who wants to grow chicken, which is worth maybe 500 shillings. Or even coffee, which is worth 30 shillings. So you see there is a place where the little money makes great impact in the society. For example, a structure like a tea bag center is around 1.5 million. So it's not a big structure, but it's not a huge project, but you see the impact that is making to a large number of population is great. Like we need fertilizer stores, there are so many things that require that small budget. Again, for us to feel and the people to feel on the ground, we need that schedule so that whatever is needed on the ground, because there are needs that people need, we will be able to capture it in that place. But we can also contribute to the other big projects that benefit a huge community. There is always a way of looking at the projects. Otherwise, we would like to have those documents plus the budgets for the last 3 years mapped to the resources. Yes, Honorable Member. Thank you. We will serve lunch at Boardroom 1. You are welcome. We have adjourned. Yes, plus kindly look at those pending bills from submitted by the contractors. Very important.
Thank you. Maybe, Chair,
you can give them a copy, or they can find a copy from the contractors.
Yeah. It's easier to get a copy from.
Yes, you can get even officially again from. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe I see you want to conclude. If I can make a
comment,
not really comment, but just an appreciation.
Okay.
That we in the Department of Agriculture, we are appreciative of this House and this committee and the valuable insights and oversights in terms of what we actually need to improve on. So I want to undertake on behalf of my colleagues here and the entire department that we shall endeavor to ensure that things are put in place, because we want to ensure that the department is ranked among the most performing. So we are here and we take positively every comment, every observation, every question that has come from your committee and through your chair, so that we as a department, we are ready anytime to be able to explain ourselves, because the most important thing is to ensure that the population or the citizens of this county receive the benefit during which we have the opportunity to access them that opportunity. So I urge that we continue working closely in this manner. Our office is they are open anytime, and I invite members anytime to come to seek any clarification anytime, so that we can be able to move together, and then we'll ensure that everything goes as per plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Waziri. Let me thank the members, the secretariat, and you for sitting patiently and also supporting this committee in whatever way. There being no other business, the meeting is adjourned till tomorrow 9:30, today 2:30 p.m.